And joining us now on the set here is Steve Purcell, St. Pete Times, TampaBay.com.
Nice to see you.
Hey, thanks for being here. And this is really unique. We are talking about the movie Cocoon. And why are we talking about that?
25 years ago on June 21st, the movie debuted. Of course, 25 years ago, or a little bit more than that, it was filmed in St. Petersburg. It remains the crown jewel of Tampa Bay's filmmaking. It's the most famous, the most rewarded. It's the biggest grosser of any movie that's ever been made around here. So we thought we'd take a look back at it. But also, it's this time capsule. It shows St. Petersburg at a time when it was known as God's waiting room, because of the heavy senior citizen population. And we had a little fun playing with that a little bit, and things that are here, still here, things that aren't. That sort of thing.
What brought filmmakers to this area?
Well, this is actually the book in which it was based was set in St. Petersburg. So the project was always intended that, but as Lily Zanuck, the producer, told me, that doesn't mean anything at all. It could go to Miami because it would be easier to shoot down there. They came to St. Pete. They found all the locations they wanted: the St. Pete Shuffleboard Club, the Coliseum, of course, for the big ballroom dancing scene. They found everything they needed right there. And they found a cooperative city government who would allow them to come in.
Now, you just mentioned it before, and you write about it in your article. You're talking about capturing St. Pete in a time capsule. Explain a bit more about that. What are you saying as a time capsule? It really is a unique period, isn't it?
St. Pete actually has gotten younger over the years. We've gotten more vibrant too, and I think the idea of senior citizens, if you want to call them that, their lifestyles have changed over that time, too. They're more active nowadays. Medicine has improved. Of course, I don't get into a lot of this kind of stuff to take away from the movie, but, you look at this movie set in made in 1984, and you really do see what St. Pete used to be. The small-town aspects of it, the older population, the older demographic there, and it's nice looking back every now and then too. But also in the course of this, I've had so much fun going through this story. You just come up with all these great little stories that I don't think got much play at that time, not much notice, but we're piling them back together again for a great little retrospective.
What are some of those unique things that the actors took away from the area, or the producers, the directors, Ron Howard perhaps, or what are some of the unique things about this area that they took away? Did they find this area very accommodating?
Oh yeah, Lily Zanuck told me that she was, just so happy. It was her first movie as a producer. Of course, her husband had been already produced Jaws and The Verdict and a lot of great movies like that. This was her first time doing it, so she still refers to it as her baby. But she always talked about. She talked to me about just the idea of the people who were so helpful and really sort of out of the way too, which may be because they were older. You're not going to have that big clamor and crush of people waiting around all day long like you might at a movie set today in St. Petersburg, because it's a different time and different. And also the idea that Ron Howard at that time only had really one big hit under his belt, and just barely, with Splash.
Yeah.
So he was still Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. So all these elderly people would see him and just sort of say, hey, there's Opie, and he played along with that too.
All these stories, how can people find them? Where do they go?
It'll be printed Sunday, June 20th in the Floridian section of the St. Pete Times. You can also go to TampaBay.com. We have a slideshow of about 50 photographs, vintage photographs of the time. I've got audio snippets of my interviews with Steve Guttenberg, one of the stars of the movie. Wilford Brimley I spoke with. He's the last surviving member of the crew of senior citizens in the movie. And Lily Zanuck and Gretchen Tenbrock, who was the city liaison at that time and now still works for the city of Clearwater.
Steve Purcell, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Cocoon, 25 years. And again, you can read Steve Purcell's column in today's St. Pete Times, or read it anytime online at TampaBay.com.
25 years ago.
It's hard to believe.
It was a great movie, too.
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple of times.
Watch it again now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and great to go back and look at those scenes and places that you recognize and people that you recognize, too.
Yep.
Hey, I've got a place that I recognize really well. It's out behind...